Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to talk to you guys about how to change your calipers on a car like an Acura TSX. I'm going to be changing the caliper is because I noticed yesterday when I was driving the car, it was grinding on the metal. Now, I recently changed the brakes on this car and the rotors, and that shouldn't be happening. And I also recently changed the caliper on the driver's side over here, which basically still looks pretty new, and the brakes are still good on there, which leads me to believe that the calipers on the other side are going bad, because it's the same thing that happened to this side when I had the same situation. So I decided to change the caliper and not even try to deal with the fact that I'm gonna redo the rotors and the brakes and then have this happen to me again in a couple months. Oh. Yeah, all right, so basically what I suspected was that the caliper was basically tearing up the brakes, and it's exactly what I thought. The brake on this side is basically to the metal. The brake on this side still has some meat to it, but this caliper has to be replaced because it's braking unevenly, and that's not good. That's not what you want. You need that to brake evenly. So this caliper, I'm replacing it with a brand new one, and also I'm gonna be painting these calipers. So since I got a new one, I'm gonna paint the new one before I install it, and I'm gonna remove this one, put new caliper, rotors, and brakes. First thing I'm going to start with removing is the brake pads. Let's get them out of the way. Alright, let's get these brakes off. Probably got a lot of pressure on it from the... there we go. It broke free. Finally. There we go. Oh, I think I got to remove the emergency brake line. Alright guys, so I totally forgot that I had to loosen up the emergency brake line that was connected right here so that I can lift this up. So for those of you who have never done this on Acura TSX, on the rear brake caliper, you have to release the emergency line before you lift up the caliper so you can get to the brake pads. So here are my brake pads. Obviously they're basically done for. Let's take them out real quick. These are just the pins that it uses to keep them from scraping while you're driving. Yeah, they're pretty much done. And this one, yep, it's uneven. So see how it's uneven? On the bottom there's a little bit of meat, and then on the top it's basically scraping metal at this point. Look at the metal right there. That's why I'm saying I'm gonna just change this caliper. It's done. I just did these brakes and rotors a couple months ago, not too long ago, and it shouldn't be doing that. That means this caliper's unevenly applying pressure to the brakes, and it's just causing me a headache at this point. So yeah, caliper's coming out. I don't want to lose too much brake fluid, so I'm gonna leave the brake fluid line for last while I unbolt my caliper. go. Alright guys, I got the 2 bolts that were back here. I basically go through here with my impact. There were 2 17s, and this is basically off at this point. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start setting up the other caliber. I'm gonna get it painted, so that way once that's ready and dried up, I'm gonna put it on. So I'm gonna get the caliber painted first, and then I'm gonna come over here and take the rotor off of this side, and then start getting everything ready to put back together. Alright, I got my C-clamp to hold it in place. I'm gonna try to take them out with my screwdriver. Usually it doesn't really come out that easy, so got my sledgehammer. Yeah, they're not coming out. I'm just gonna drill them out. Oh, that one came off. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I'll give the other one a couple of whacks and see if it comes off. Come on. There it goes. Oh, I got it. Oh. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. I didn't think it was gonna come off, but it's coming off. It's hard, but it's coming off. Oh, it's not out. I got this. The last time I did these rotors, I had to buy new ones, so I'm just gonna put the new ones in. Yep. Yep, that's no good. Yeah, that's off. All right, guys, it's time to put the new rotor on. I already cleaned it with some brake cleaner, so you gotta clean off the oil that they put on it. Pain in the butt. Okay. Hopefully by the time I'm done with this, my caliper will be completely dry and I can start getting that ready to install. And I'll be done with this for today. All right, it's time to get the caliper back in here. I'm gonna get it in here, and then I'm gonna hand tighten it first, so that way all I gotta do is get the impact in there. Get my hand back here to see if I can kind of maneuver this thing around. Yeah, I got it. But you want to tighten it at least by hand as much as you can, because if you hit it with the impact driver, there's a good chance you can strip it, and that's the last thing you want to do when doing something like this. Yeah, that's good. All right, let me get the other one in. That one's on the bottom. Can't even see it. Take it back here with my hand. There we go. It's coming in. All right. Now I can start transferring everything over, like the emergency line. But first I gotta put my brake pads in before I put the emergency line in. I got it in there earlier. Now I just want to be a pain in my butt. There we go. Come on. Come on. You're almost there. Alright, that one's in. Come on. Don't break my chops. That one's in. Hit the bottom one more time to make sure it's nice and tight. Okay. And I gotta loosen up the bolt down here. Okay. So I can put the pads in and then bleed the brakes and get connected and start connecting all the lines. Alright. These in here. All right, that's in. Pads are in. Beautiful. Bolt this back up. we go.
Next is the emergency brake line, and hook this on right here, hopefully. Alright, that's hooked on. Now this gotta go in here, and bolt. Alright, I think it caught. Alright.
There we go. Okay, well, there you have it. Brake caliper, rotors, and brake replacement. Everything's hooked back on. Lines in there. Calipers are nice and yellow. Everything looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and bleed these brakes, and it should be good. Check it out. Everything's back in. Emergency lines connected right here. Brake line. Everything's bolted back in. I'm gonna bleed the brakes through here, and then I gotta take off all the other tires and bleed all the brakes now. So that's it, guys. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Bye.